feuds.com, 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 feuds.com.
Welcome back to the show. Now, before we start, quick disclaimer. This episode contains prison philosophy, January 6th discourse, internal feuds, moral gray areas, Florida geography, and at least one proposal involving an Xbox and the IRS. Today, I fuck with Nicholas Ochs, J6 scum veteran, Catholic, and writer, author of The Age of Rot, a right-wing dissident's prison dispatches from a torn America. Nick spent roughly 2 years in federal custody following January 6, 2021. The Age of Rot is his account of that time, not a legal brief nor a manifesto, but an amalgamation of thoughts, observations, humor, boredom, anger, and curiosity that only comes from being locked in a cage with nothing but time and a pen. You know, one of those like really squishy pens, the ones that makes it kind of difficult to murder yourself with. The book opens with one of Nick's more provocative ideas: paying Americans $500 a month to voluntarily remove themselves from the voting bloc, possibly in exchange for an Xbox or new Xbox games. The idea being that maybe 10% of the country causes 90% of the problems. And if that 10% could simply opt out by checking a box on their IRS form, the rest of the country might function a little better. Unrealistic, but it immediately signals that there's an interesting mind at work. Nick also documents prison vocabulary, including terms like chomos, slow-mos, GI-mos, cho-moses, all variants meaning child molester. And he dedicates his book to his wife, Shauna, with a line that quietly says, "More than a paragraph ever could. To my wife, who never complained." It's also worth noting that Nick is a white man who was once president of the Hawaii chapter of the Proud Boys, an organization routinely described as white supremacist, despite the fact that its longtime chairman, Enrique Tarrio, is Afro-Cuban, and Nick himself is married to a black woman. Another example of how ridiculous the mainstream narrative has become. The Age of Rot was published by Augusto Press and includes praise from people who don't hand it out casually. For instance, Milo Yiannopoulos. He's a longtime friend of Nick's. He's also a gentleman who does not suffer fools. And he writes on the opening page, "At long last, a good January 6th book. Can they all finally shut up about it now? Please?" Gavin McInnes also offers praise, recalling Nick's prison correspondence that briefly became a segment on his show on censored.tv. He writes, "Nick would write us letters from prison, and we used AI to make him a talking head in the cell. Has anyone done that before? It didn't last long, but it was our most popular show. And it's not just because he's smart. The bastard is compelling. I agree. As an English major, I know good writing when I see it. And Nick can write. I couldn't put the book down, quite frankly. I read it in one sitting." Now, separate from the book, our conversation goes a little further. We talk about Nick's co-defendant, Nick DiCarlo, the two Nicks, as they were called, both affiliated with the media project, Murder the Media, both arrested, convicted, and both served federal time. We also get into the long-running dispute between Nick Ochs and Enrique Tarrio. Tarrio, who was arrested back in 2013 for selling fake diabetic test strips and committing Medicare fraud, cooperated with the federal government to reduce his sentence. Tarrio says he informed on sex traffickers and child traffickers. Ochs says he informed on pot dealers, allegedly securing himself a cushy ride at the Pensacola low-security prison camp. During the podcast, I pressed Nick on whether he would be willing to offer Tarrio any grace, especially considering that Tarrio publicly took responsibility for burning a BLM flag in Washington, D.C. during the December 12th rally leading up to January 6th, arguably taking one for the team, because unlike most blacks who claim to have done nothing wrong, Tarrio was actually innocent in this circumstance. Nick's response was blunt, paraphrasing, once a rat, always a rat. He said he'd be willing to shake Enrique's hand and wish him well, but only if Tarrio were honest about labeling him a rat, acknowledging the fact that Nick Ochs never snitched on anybody. He did his time like a man. Tarrio, for his part, has claimed through prison grapevine stories that Ochs engaged in minor tattletaling, reporting cell phones and similar infractions for better treatment. I don't personally believe that, but it's part of the dispute, and we don't shy away from it. Later, on another podcast, Enrique discussed the irony that Gavin McInnes once attempted to broker peace between Nick and himself at the wedding of Jay Johnson, the voice of Bob's Burgers, who was also present on January 6th. That reconciliation, of course, never happened, and it likely never will.
Gavin was trying to make us make up or whatever, and Gavin did his best, and I wasn't gonna back down. I told him, my claims were a third party claim. I take at face value what the person told me, that he was a snitch while he was in prison. The prison community, Barry knows this, the prison community is very small. And what was told to me was that he was going ahead for favors. He went ahead and he would throw people under the bus that had cell phones, drugs, and all of that. But I'll let your recording with Nick tell his story. And if you want, you could have me on.
My co-host today is my cugina, Jessica, a complete outsider to this world, a true normie, which makes her a perfect gauge for how all of this sounds to people who aren't boomers or Floridians or Twitter addicts. She asks questions, reacts honestly, occasionally says exactly what normal people are probably thinking. After the interview, like always, I thought of a dozen questions I wish I would have asked. I hate that, but that's part of getting your footing back, Just for some context, I've been podcasting since 2012. I was an early adopter to the medium. I was systematically canceled. My gonzo journalism career, undercover with the Proud Boys, was shit canned, and I'm still shaking the rust off after my most recent hiatus. I just got my YouTube channel back, matter of fact. Nick now lives in Florida, a state that seems to magnetically attract political dissidents. He was born in North Carolina. He spent time on his family's farm out in Indiana. He served in the military in Hawaii and is now a father of two, including one child who was born while he was incarcerated. He also revealed to me for the first time on this show that his wife is pregnant yet again. So he is soon to be a father of three. Congratulations to Nick Ochs, new papa, thrice fold. Anyway, this isn't an endorsement, nor is it a hit piece. It's just a conversation with a writer who lived something most people only argue about. Let's get into it. That's me. Hey, what's up? This is Bobby Pickles and my cousin Jessica, and we are here interviewing Nick Ochs. Nick Ochs is a J6 scum, pure scum, the scum of the earth. He wrote a book called The Age of Rot, and it was all about his time back in the slammer for January 6th. He was one of these January 6th criminals. He got in. I don't know. I'll bring you up to speed. He got in to the Capitol. Mm-hmm. Him and another gentleman by the name of Nick as well. Right. Nick DiCarlo. And the two Nicks proceeded to smoke cigarettes inside the Capitol, walk around, and then they actually vandalized. They wrote "Murder the Media" on one of the doors. What was up with that door? Which door was that to?
That was a big part of the case, I guess. It didn't need to be. They felonized me, but my co-defendants doodling costs less than $99 in damage according to the government, which means it costs absolutely nothing. And, they tried to say it was a memorial door for someone important or something. It's kind of starts to get a memorial door that's unlabeled. But another inconsequential moment, the news media liked to run with it because it said "Murder the Media," but that is, in fact, the name of our media company. So, the pun resides there.
I mean, I know that, but I'm sure nobody else knew that.
Well, the media didn't, and they took it pretty hard.
They did. And so bring me through that day if you could. Now, Nick, you were a Proud Boy. You still a Proud Boy?
Yeah, and there's no shame in that, but there's a lot of trouble in that when you go through the legal system, because they took it pretty hard on us, and it was due to my. I'm like a Z level internet celebrity, but at that time you become high profile. I'm officially classified, and the Proud Boy thing, and I'd run for office, and they wanted to squeeze all the blood out of that orange, so they proceeded to do it.
Yeah, you were a Proud Boy in Hawaii. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Chapter president, Hawaii founder, etc. Good boys out there. How you
And then
boys
how
doing?
did you end up in Hawaii?
Well, I was stationed there in the Marine Corps, and after I left the Marine Corps, I just kind of lingered. It's a nice place.
And then you married a black.
I did. I did. I met her in Hawaii as well, and we've got
Nice.
along splendidly ever since.
And you got a couple children together.
We do. We do. We got one more on the way, which people are starting to notice because my wife is showing a bit, and things are good, man. Things are good.
Oh, God bless you, man.
Thanks. I don't know if I've
And
really told the public that, but no, they know now.
the cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you were in prison, and your second child was born while you were in prison. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's true, man. So I did 2 years. It's a substantial amount of time for trespassing. It's never happened before, but it was had the foresight to knock up my wife before I left, and that'll happen when you're
Brilliant.
in.
That's a brilliant move.
It was.
She definitely won't leave me now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they still will. Like you see them on the phones. It's not good.
And so did you guys get a conjugal visit while you were there or anything like that?
Nah, they canceled that shit a long time ago. Hadn't happened for years and years. I think the feds definitely not, and California's the last state to actually do it. So it's a bit of a myth.
Now, what kind of a federal prison were you in? Is it more like a camp federal
No,
prison?
definitely
or
not.
Is it
So
more like solitary
no
confinement?
J6er. I was in solitary, but no J6er made it to a camp. That's camp is what you call minimum security. To use words that might be more familiar to people, a work camp. There's usually no fence. I went to visit somebody in one recently, and it was astounding. I just walked into the visit room, and you're surrounded by prisoners. Like you can walk out the door and run away. It's different. I was in what was technically a low security, but really functionally a medium. They called it a medium low or something. And
Were
they like
you on the highway chained together picking up garbage?
no, they
Oh,
didn't let
okay.
anybody out for that. There was a lot of at a low, you're not supposed to have more than 20 years in your sentence, but at this place, there were a lot that had more than 20 years on their sentence that were there for bureaucratic reasons. It was a secure spot and a lot of just like terrible chomos and shit. So the security was really substantial. You had a giant fence, two fences with all the razor wire, and what you call one-way walks, which is you can only walk across the prison yard at certain times. It's not like that at camps and most lows.
Interesting.
And do you know all these like little terms like chomo? Do you know what that is?
No.
Yeah, yeah. There's actually a chapter in the book that addresses the prison slang, but chomo is short for chomosexual. It's any sort of child molester or any sex offender is classified as such, and they're the low end of the
Chomo.
food chain.
They're the very bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got to watch out because they're usually kind of quiet about that, and then
No,
once
it's
that gets
obvious.
out,
Like chomos and snitches are on the exact same level in prison. You're in or you're out. You're good or you're not. You got what's called good paperwork or bad paperwork, and there's no in between. And chomo is bad paperwork, snitch is bad paperwork, and you'll get found out. Like it's not hard to look a guy up. I've looked many people up.
right. And then take me through the writing process while you're in there. I read this book. It's all about you have like all your musings,
Yep.
thoughts. You start out with a plan to take away the voting rights of half the population through money being paid via tax credit. Is that correct? Something like that?
Yeah, probably not half. I have a sort of a grand theory of politics is that all of our problems have basically no direct link to the 1%, but the bottom 10% cause me a lot of grief. And if we can remove their political influence, we'll live in a functioning country again. So that's really all I ask.
Right. And you do that through
Pain.
how?
It's a very simple subject. People say, well, if things would be good if we could only just do this or that, and they name the thing, maybe if women didn't vote or maybe if you kick this person out. Okay, but you can't get any of that to happen because those people won't vote for it. This is the flaw in democracy. We do live in a democracy. It's working perfectly fine, despite what you've heard. So you've got to do what is always done anyway and pay people, provide more welfare for the population. This time in the form of one box you check in your taxes, said, I would like the $500 a month, please. No questions asked, and you'll get it. The only thing you do is deregister to vote. And we have fixed America.
Now, I don't know. I mean, wouldn't you get some good people doing that? I mean,
Probably. It's not my problem. They're not voting anymore, and they become irrelevant.
$500 a month to take away my voting rights.
Yep.
I mean, I would probably
I might
consider it.
See, it's working already.
$500 a month. Vote who? How do you spell vote?
It's all monopoly money anyway. I mean, look at what's happening with Nick Shirley
I'll just
over there.
pay you in crypto.
Have you heard about that? Obviously you have, Nick, but my cousin over here. Have you heard about the Somalians? You are so not on social media at all.
I
God.
hate
See,
social
this
media.
is the problem. And that is not this. It's nowhere in the mass media or anything like that.
What?
This independent journalist went to Minnesota and exposed all these daycare centers, and they're all fake. Like they're misspelled. It says Leering Center, not even Learning Center, and no kids are in there. Nothing. Go up middle of the day, knock on the door. Where's all the kids? They get millions of dollars a year from the taxes.
You're saying they're run by one organization?
They're run by all these Somalians, all these.
It's an ethnic problem.
Yeah, they all moved into that area, and they're all getting kickbacks, fraudulent, tax money have
realistically, who's getting money the right way?
Right, that is true.
Our own government isn't getting it the right way, so people just come here and learn how to monopolize our system really well.
Yeah. No, but it's interesting though that you have no idea about that. And the guy has millions, and it's been blown up for days now. His just independent YouTube channel.
I'm still recuperating from Christmas, so
yeah,
I have not been on social media. I'm sorry, Bobby.
I got a question to ask you. While I have you on here, I definitely want to ask you about your tussle with Enrique Tarrio. You guys don't really like each other, is that right?
No, I'd say the hate's pretty mutual, but only correct in one direction.
Don't you have the same views?
Yeah, sure. Probably for the most part. My issue with the man is that he's a snitch, and as I just established, that's as low as a chomo. So good luck with life.
I do have to agree with him there. That is pretty low. Well, how is he?
Can we explain all that to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's not a difficult
scenario?
subject. I mean, the man ratted on at least a dozen people on paper, who knows how many really, and put away everyone from weed dealers to gamblers to steroid sellers to get himself a very small amount of time off back in about 2014. I frown upon this.
Right.
Snitch, I guess.
And you know this for a fact. You looked at his paperwork and stuff like that, and
yeah, it's quite public.
I thought it was some sex trafficking thing or whatever. He was doing it for the right reasons.
No, there's no right reasons to stitch when you're in the case. All right, he's not a concerned citizen coming to the police. He's a guy who turned in people he knew and apparently people he didn't to get time off, and went to a camp. He went to a Pensacola camp, which is the America's softest prison. I was hoping to go there and was denied, but that's the kind of thing you can arrange for yourself. It's his choice. It's got nothing to do with me. I wish him the best, but you have to acknowledge these things. That's a choice for life. So we'll keep separate.
And is there any grace in your heart to forgive the man?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to, but then he went on a national podcast and in fact accused me of snitching when I'm happy to bring my golden paperwork anywhere and he's not. So that's a bridge that can't be uncrossed, I should say.
And I heard that you guys were all at the same wedding or something like that not too long ago. Jay Johnson's wedding.
Yeah, I didn't know he'd be there, but I'm not going to turn around and leave.
Right.
When did this all start? What was the thing that really...
What, the fight between him and Enrique? What?
I mean, it became public. Some journalist uncovered his lawyer's statement saying he's the most prolific informant he's ever worked with in a 40-year career, and put the story out there. That was, when we were all in leadership in the Proud Boys, and that's you can't be in a right-wing group with that as your figurehead. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, but all right. So since then, though, couple, years went by, and he was arrested again. He went to prison for burning a BLM flag, which actually technically he didn't even do. And he took that rap. He didn't rat anybody out, and he did like 6 months before he got pinched for the J6 stuff. So
yeah, I accuse him of no wrongdoing in that case. I never have.
But does he win back any points?
Not really, because he's still out here doing scum things. Not scum in the complimentary sense like he used to walk me. But there would be more room for redemption if he hadn't gone out and personally accused me of doing what he did when I'm the guy that didn't rat in his case. Like, I could have got the time off. So that's low. Like, I don't care where you are. If your personal loyalty is them, I got no problem you being friends with them. A lot of people are. I don't hassle anybody about that, but I would not. That's way beyond the realms of what honor allows. And he'll live his life, hopefully quietly. Probably not.
Yeah. So you deal with a lot of the, and I don't want to make this all about you and Enrique, but I do think that it's an interesting thing, and I never heard your perspective on it at all. I just hear like kind of other people tell
Was there
me.
a relationship prior, or have you met in person?
Yeah, I know him very well. We've been friends for years until his past came out, and then he was given every opportunity to explain, and in the end you can't, because that's the worst kind of paperwork. Like, it's not a borderline case. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, everybody was good. We were all good, and then all of a sudden this all this came out. When did this come out, by the way?
Years ago now. And as I said, even for most of a year, I wanted to give him his chance and say this and that, and there's some way to rationalize this, which is all before prison. But I've never been able to stand a snitch. I don't approve of that kind of thing. I don't really come from a criminal lifestyle, but I was effectively raised not to trust the police, which is good advice for anybody, and certainly wouldn't work with them.
Right. And you're also pretty good friends with Milo Yiannopoulos.
He's a pal.
And you've been on Timcast and stuff, Timcast IRL.
Yeah, I've done the old Timcast twice.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. How was that experience?
I mean, it's good. It's Timcast he's a moderate fellow. It's not really my usual crowd, but there's some good folks involved in making that show. I have nothing bad to say about Tim. He's been good to me personally, and thanks for having me on.
I'm sure you don't have anything bad, but what about there's a lot of stuff floating around about him accepting money from Russia and stuff like that, propping up.
No, that's all horseshit. That's nothing. No, I think the Israeli connection might be a bit stronger, but there's not really a lot of Russian influence in media and politics in America, believe it or not. As I said, that's his business. It's nothing I've ever been choosing to do. I don't think you could credibly say that about myself.
But that doesn't change anything as far as how you feel about him.
Everyone's got their things. If I fought with everybody in the right-wing road, we'd have no friends. So I keep it to personal beefs, of which I've only got one, and we've well gone over it.
Right. Tell me a little bit more about this book, then. All right.
Yeah. Gladly.
You can get this on Amazon.
You can buy it on Amazon. I've affordably priced it at $13. I think that's a fair price for all the pain and suffering that went into it. But I'm really proud of it, man. It's a funny book. I think it's a very funny book above all, and it'll hit you hard at the right times. And people are saying great things about it, which really means a lot to me. So thank y'all for buying it and supporting me. And really, thanks for reading and enjoying. I hope y'all do. The book is called Age of Rot, and you can buy it on Amazon.com.
Thank you, man. And when you were writing, you had to write like with a pencil or something?
No, it was. I did a lot of writing in prison. That was mostly on the prison typewriter.
It was a suicide. Wait, I read this in the book.
Oh yeah. So when I was thrown in solitary and such for various times for various reasons, you get, if you're lucky, you get a little malleable, bendy ballpoint pen that you can't possibly insert to your own brain, and that's what you got if you're lucky.
Thank God for those.
Yeah, well, people do. It's solitary
what a way
is
to go.
something.
Stick a pen in your brain.
Yeah.
Eye?
That's you can't shave in there either. You get a Nair-like product if you want to try. It's not good.
Now, is there anything that you would have wanted to include in the book that you didn't?
I mean, yeah, I was somewhat limited in my prison writing to say certain things. Nothing too juicy, but like,
Because they would read everything, right? They would like
oh
scan
yeah,
and
not just the prison, which of course did. But they read my incoming mail and everything, and they sent everything I'd write and all my incoming mail to the FBI and fuck knows who else. And so that was every phone call was recorded and stored and all that, and I'm sure it still exists. But knowing that, you can get pretty mouthy on the phone and say what you want to these people, which I often did. But at the same time, you got to be really careful that you're not flying too close to the sun, just with anything, because they were looking for an excuse to smash me. And in fact, I almost did. I was accused of some very serious crimes while I was in that are just
What
comically
exactly
fake.
were your charges?
Well, my charges were only one, 1512 C, which is a white collar thing that's been dismissed by the Supreme Court. But while I was in, they accused me of attempting to murder the warden and take over the whole prison, and threw me in the slammer for that for Christmas time and well over a month. And it's the cops knew it wasn't real, it wasn't supposed to be real, but this is the kind of thing that will happen to you if you're a dissident. It's just not a safe place to be in the country in general, but in prison especially. You got to be real careful. You got to be real careful.
where did they get that idea from?
They didn't. They just wanted to fuck with me. The warden is obviously votes differently than I do, and wanted to make a problem. So they can do that. There's no real scrutiny in the BOP to have accountability. Like cops get away with a lot as cops, but in the prison system, it's a lot more. Like it's real bad. It's real third world.
Right. Is there anything that you learned from being in prison that you'd want to change? Like now that you're out, you want to have to fix the Bureau of Prison system or anything?
I've always been into that before I was ever in trouble or anything. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for prisoners. And yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot I'd like to change. But it's not, I don't have a realistic way to do any of it right now. I'll tell you that. And it's not a political winner. And it's not going to happen soon.
Do you think Trump is all for us, or you think he's bought and paid for by Izzy?
He's obviously hung up on Israel, as is every boomer in his demographic, so that's not unique. MAGA, which I'm still strongly pro-MAGA and pro-Trump, is doing more for our country and the Western world in general as happens since any of us have been alive. Like it's not close. Where we got net negative immigration for the first time in our lives. There's things that are happening, and I know it's not enough, but there's things that are happening that are more than ever, and we got to build off that. You don't start a whole new thing right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the only thing that we have, basically.
Yep.
Right.
Because he built it out of the Republican Party. He turned the Republican Party into an independent party. That's what really happened. And now we got to build off that. Step one, thanks Trump. Step two, rest of our lives.
Right. So you had me make some I don't know, that I could edit this out or whatever if you don't want to talk about it, but I made some hats for you a little while ago. Can you tell me what happened to those? Like what was the point of that?
They were worn. I'll say that. And those were not my hats with their despicable content on them.
Right.
But that's someone's private hat collection, so I won't go any further detail into that.
But they got used.
What happened with the hats?
That's a trade secret between me and Bobby.
What I would like to know what happened
No,
with the hats.
no. That's just women. Women want to always know things.
Of
that you're
course
not
we
allowed
do.
to know. You're not allowed to know it. So shut up.
So why bring it up on a public podcast, you dick?
I was just seeing if we could talk about it.
I can. I'll give you a hat anecdote though. I'll say this. No one knows this about me, but the current president of the Congo wears a hat that I had personally made for him, called "Make Congo Great Again." Unfortunately, Bobby, didn't have you make. I had to get that done in D.C., but I'm somewhat deeply into the hat business, as it turns out.
Oh, why did you cheat on me with somebody else?
I have
With
a
another
hat.
I had to get
maker?
it day of. It was a very quick situation.
I have a hat that says "Hot girls eat pasta."
It's pretty good.
I think that's brilliant. Maybe I should go into the business too.
So, how do you like pizza? Are you a pizza guy?
Oh, here we go.
I'm a
with the
fan,
pizza.
of course, but I'm a Southern man with, I guess, Midwestern sensibilities because I'm partial to deep dish.
Where are you from originally?
I was born in North Carolina. I say I'm from Indiana. That's where the family farm is. But I've
I
all
can hear
over.
your
I've lived more than
accent.
half my life
hear his
in the
twang.
South, so I rep Dixie basically. I live in Florida now.
And what did you have to say about Florida?
I love it. I got nothing negative to say about Florida.
No. My cousin here, she was like, "Is everybody from
Oh,
January
yeah.
6th from Florida?"
Yeah, pretty
Yeah, I
much.
was saying everybody is from Florida. Like, what is it about Florida that has everybody on edge, so angry? What
Well, I
is
came
it?
from Hawaii to get to the ruckus. So,
How do you come from such a beautiful place and have so much anger towards the government?
well, if you've been a right wing person in Hawaii, you'll find that it's a sort of a uniquely unpleasant environment. They had not left me alone long before this.
Would you go back to Hawaii?
Not to live. I mean, it's beautiful. The postcard doesn't lie. But the reason I left is not that I was politically hounded out or anything.
A
I
lot of
just
meth in Hawaii.
tons of
I've
meth.
learned-
Tons of meth.
Yes,
But that's the same in a lot of places.
true.
All right. Anything else?
Well, I'm here to answer questions, bub, not ask them.
No, I was asking my cuz.
I can't think of anything to ask right now.
No?
I
God, you
drew
can
a
think
blank.
of so much on the spot
I'm
normally.
distracted because I've been listening to your stomach growling for the past 20 minutes, and I can't figure out why. Because you just ate McDonald's.
Well, that's actually what it is. It's just the
So I'm listening to
digestion.
you digest as I'm trying to listen to him talk about his book.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, I mean, you always know that
There it is.
whoever Milo befriends is like an intelligent person. You know, this gentleman is not your run of the mill like right wing retarded person. You could obviously you hear him speaking,
And we know he's not a snitch.
and we know he's not a snitch. He's a stand up guy.
That's
Absolutely.
true. My rep, I hope, does precede me.
Him and Nick DiCarlo. Now, so did you guys do any time together? No.
No, they would not stick you with your co-defendant because usually co-defendants, because there are so many snitches, it can be a problem. You know what I mean? So especially at low and camps, you know, it's a snitch-rich environment. So they're picky about who they put people with to reduce the stabbings and whatnot.
Right.
But my co-defendant is totally good, by the way. He is not a rat, and he absolutely could have had that opportunity if he wanted it.
Oh, I love him and Vil, man. Those guys are great. They're hilarious. So funny. I love their show. Murder the Media. And yeah, great. It's I love seeing you the other night. It was an awesome interview on there.
Oh yeah, we had some fun. They hit me up right before the show and said, "You want to come on?" And I said, "Well, I'm kind of drunk, but I don't think it's crossed any lines, so yeah, I'll show up."
Love it.
So would you do like a bare knuckle boxing match with Enrique or anything like that? Would you be willing to do that, like fight him publicly or something?
I mean, maybe it's not really an issue with fighting. Like, it's not the kind of thing where you can make up and hold hands until he retracts his statement. Like, his whole thing is, well, you're calling me a snitch. Well, yeah, you are, and I'm not, and that's the difference. So
If he retracted his statement and apologized, would you be willing to?
I'd shake his hand, sure, and go our separate ways. I don't associate with the man, but you could
You
call
would
the beef
never
dead,
associate
sure.
with him again.
No, I'd never. It's a snitch is a lifetime choice. That's what you do, and it's a choice you'll be confronted with if you ever have to enter the legal system. He chose his way. I chose not to do a life sentence of shame, but to do up to 20 years real time. That was a real risk, and I ended up getting 4, which is a lot for trespassing. So, yeah, it
Did you
means
do the
something to you
4
when you've been through
years?
it. Yeah, they gave me 4, bub.
You did the full 4 years? I thought
No,
you
I did not. I got out early because the Supreme Court overturned my conviction through another case.
And that was that first charge that you were talking about, right? That they threw out.
Yeah, that's 1512C. So it's a very much what you call a legal reach or a novel approach. They needed a new law back when the Enron guys got busted, because what Enron actually did is have their secretary shred their papers with all the financial stuff on it, and that's not illegal. It turns out that's totally fine. So they added a few words to witness intimidation. That's the parentheses C, part of the 1512, and said that now shredding papers or having your secretary do it is the same as intimidating a witness or a jury member, and you can get up to 20 years for that. So that was 2009, that law was passed. And the ACLU said, well, this could obviously be used to crush dissent and punish other crimes. And then it was never used until January 6th, and the ACLU suddenly didn't have any more issues with it. But somebody whose name is Fisher took it to the Supreme Court and got his charge knocked off. And since that's the only charge I had, mine became knocked off by default. Although I did 5 months after that because it's a fucked up system.
Well, Nick, I mean, congratulations on the new one coming. And you're the man. I appreciate you jumping on here with us. Anything else? Nothing? I guarantee you, as soon as we get off, you're going to come up with something.
Oh my
I'll be
God,
like,
why are
didn't
you
say-"
so angry all the time?
I'm not.
God.
What? All right. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Get back to, all that stuff you got going on there.
I will, buddy. Thanks for having me on. I enjoyed the show, and call me up anytime. And to your magnificent viewers, buy Age of Rot on Amazon.com. It's easy to spell.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we got Naya on, and it's my little cousin. How you doing, Naya?
Good.
And so what did you want to say? You're trying to ask Naya about politics. Do you know what politics is?
Let's get an 8-year-old's point of view. Why not?
So we just interviewed a gentleman who wrote this book, The Age of Rot, and he wrote it from prison because do you know what January 6th is? The riot that happened in the Capitol. Do you know what that is? No. In Washington D.C. You have no idea?
What do you know about politics?
Put this up to you.
Nothing.
Not one thing? Do you know anybody that was in politics or anybody that...
No.
What about your favorite? But you can talk about that too.
What is it?
My favorite.
Oh my God, Charlie Kirk. Do you like Charlie Kirk?
Yes.
She's a Charlie Kirk fan. Not really sure where it originated, but she is.
What happened with
Babe,
that?
why don't you sing our Charlie Kirk
Oh,
song?
see, now you're getting scared?
What did you tell me the other day? That this world what?
Needed Charlie.
How did you hear about Charlie Kirk?
I randomly saw it on the news.
Come on, you're going to be an entertainer. You got to get used to holding the microphone and talking in front of people.
So this is one of the songs I rely on. One of the songs
Talking to
we
the mic.
needed. One of the songs we needed.
Oh, what is this?
I don't need this.
Are you going to sing along with this?
No, I just wanted to play it.
What's up with you and your mom both get scared as soon as you get on the thing?
Come on, tell us about Charlie Kirk. Can you sing your Charlie Kirk song?
No.
We are... Ow.
Don't get bashful now.
Charlie Kirk was a great man. We needed him. He was strong. He gave speeches. He was a wonderful man.
Have you met this man?
No,
Oh.
but I heard.
Oh my God, she's abused
I
you.
heard about him.
Have you ever heard any of the speeches that he gave?
No, but I heard that he gave one great speech at a college stadium, but he got shot by another person.
Thank you, Naya. Thank you for your interview.
Thank you, Naya.
I think that's where we'll stop. Okay?
You actually didn't see the shot, right?
No,
Good. That's good.
well I did, but
You did?
Naya,
You did watch it?
you're disassembling the mic,
yes,
my friend.
I saw it. I saw it on.
What do you think
the
about
news.
Trump?
No, kind of.
Besides his bad hair color and skin color. Do you think that's a fake tan or a real
You're
tan?
racist.
I wasn't talking about his real color. I was talking about his tan.
Racist against orange people?
I'm actually racist against self-tanners that are orange. Bet your ass.
I need some of that right now. I'm looking pasty.
What do you think about his hairdo?
I kind of like it.
You do? Interesting. I'm a hairdresser.
Mom,
I don't know how
stop.
to
Your
take
hair
that.
looks like a Barbie from the 1980s.
Oh, girl. Okay, I'll take it. I've been called worse.
It's like all girly and stuff. What the heck?
Oh my God.
There you have
He
it.
tried to get me into bows by saying, it's fashionable. Everyone wears it now. It's all trending.
What do you have to say about the new year, Naya?
New year, new me.
Say it right here.
Blueberry.
Hey, don't call me a blueberry.
All right.
Pickles podcast. He always says that's me. With that look on his face, he'll talk about anything. Outstanding. Tattoos, t-shirts, politics, history, and hot sauce on everything. Bobby Pickles. Pop culture, documentaries, conspiracy theories, sarcasm, and fear. It's a conversation. Start listening, cause we're all here. Bobby Pickles podcast. That's me.
Outstanding.